Tonight, former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta declared wanted by the special prosecutor as he fails to appear before the OSP for the third consecutive time. Stay with us as we hear from lawyers of Ken Ofori-Atta, who has called the bluff of the special prosecutor, insisting on virtual interrogation as they argue their client is medically unfit. Story is, as always, brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies and holy insecticide spray and coil. Enjoy a holy sleep. My name is Fostina, Sarfo. Well, tonight the special prosecutor has once again put the name of the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta on the wanted list. That's his decision after lawyers for the former finance minister failed for the third consecutive time to present their client in person for questioning, insisting he can only appear virtually due to medical reasons. The special prosecutor had scheduled the interrogation over Ken Ofori-Atta's alleged role in 5 corruption and corruption-related cases, threatening to relist Ken Ofori-Atta on his wanted list. Well, tonight he has fulfilled that threat. Let's listen to him.
A letter from Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers, dated 18 February 2025, clearly indicated that the possible surgical intervention to be performed on him was to occur on 20 and 21 March 2025, upon which reckoning the OSP carefully considered the recovery period and indulgently pushed Mr. Ofori-Atta's attendance at the OSP to 2 June 2025. Therefore, Mr. Ofori-Atta had a duty to promptly inform the OSP of any fundamental change in his medical circumstances on 21 March 2025, when the advertised surgical intervention was not performed, to enable the OSP reschedule a new date of his attendance at the OSP to accommodate any such material changes in his medical condition and treatment itinerary. Mr. Ofori-Atta has known, at least since 21 March 2025, that no surgical procedure was to be performed on him in March. Yet, he purposely sat by indolently and chose not to inform the OSP of such fundamental changes in his circumstances. Instead, about 67 days after learning of the alleged changed circumstances around 21 March 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta elected to spring a surprise on the OSP on 28 May 2025, just 6 days before his scheduled attendance at the OSP, by offering to undergo a video recorded interview and a viewing of his biopsy report. Now, back to the 28 May 2025 letter from the lawyers of Mr. Ofori-Atta. As I said, this is where we are. By a letter dated 30 May 2025, the OSP declined Mr. Ofori-Atta's offer of video recorded interview for the purpose of eliciting his caution statement. This office has always insisted on his personal attendance, and we have indicated clearly to him that we are unwilling to waive it. If we were amenable to taking any such statement from Mr. Ofori-Atta in absentia, we would have done so in February and not waited to 2 June 2025. We want him here physically, and we insist on it. A suspect in a criminal investigation does not pick and choose how the investigative authority should conduct its investigations and the method suitable to him and his convenience. We will not countenance such conduct, not in this case or in any other case. Further, the OSP has declined Mr. Ofori-Atta's invitation to view his biopsy report, as we consider it a pointless exercise. This is because it is common learning that the biopsy report contains nothing more than a conclusion upon the removal and examination of tissue, cells, or fluids from a living body that some disease or malady was indicated in the samples taken. A biopsy report is not an expression of a reasoned medical opinion that the subject of the report is an invalid and unable to travel, as Mr. Ofori-Atta seeks to suggest is his condition, and for which reason he says he cannot return to the jurisdiction. This much is clear Since 24 January 2025 till date, Mr. Ofori-Atta has failed to show any medical report. I underline, he has failed to show any medical report which suggests that he is a travel risk and unable to return to the jurisdiction by reason of his medical condition. It has all been his say-so, his singular say-so. Therefore, the OSP views Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyer's letter dated 28 May 2025 as an expression of utter bad faith on the part of Mr. Ofori-Atta, and it confirms our long-held, well-considered opinion and conclusion that Mr. Ofori-Atta has no intention of voluntarily returning to the jurisdiction and to attend the OSP. Further, this office is unaware of his purported information to the court, whether orally or by filed processes, of the alleged change in his circumstances. Today is Monday, 2 June 2025. It is more than 3 hours past the scheduled time of Mr. Ofori-Atta's attendance at the OSP, and Mr. Ofori-Atta failed to attend the OSP today. Mr. Ofori-Atta's conduct is totally unacceptable and a baleful spite at law enforcement and criminal investigations. It ends here. It ends today. We will no longer accommodate him. Consequently, the OSP redeclares that Mr. Ofori-Atta is a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. His name is hereby re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons. The OSP will take all necessary legal steps to secure Mr. Ofori-Atta's return to the jurisdiction and to answer to the criminal inquiries against him. In pursuance of this, about 30 minutes before this briefing, I triggered processes for the issuance of an Interpol red notice, pending extradition or his surrender. Around the same time, I dispatched a request for extradition processes to be instituted for this extradition to the Republic of Ghana. The OSP will prefer criminal charges in the courts against Mr. Ofori-Atta in due course, whether in absentia or otherwise. The principle upon which we proceed is that no person, regardless of title, regardless of status, regardless of medical, is beyond the reach of inquiry by the OSP.
You heard the special prosecutor, and he's still addressing the media. Let's take you there live now for that media engagement.
That the special prosecutor had embarked on a personal vendetta against Mr. Ofori-Atta without disclosing the alleged series of retaliatory facilities in the U.S. When U.S. medical facilities are communicating with law enforcement, we know the form in which they come. A hospital administrator goes through a tedious process of detailed analysis of his condition to come to a conclusion that he is unfit to travel, and so he shouldn't be made to travel. That is when the law enforcement agency considers things like the MLA processes, but not on your say-so, not by way of a biopsy report. Once again, a biopsy report in street language, it is merely like a lab test. That shows you have a certain condition. So in his contest, since it's indicated that he says he has cancer, it will be a removal of some tissue or fluid to test whether the tissues put in the cassette indicate cancerous cells. It doesn't mean that he's dying tomorrow, God forbid. It doesn't mean that he is so unwell that he can't travel. You know how many people are walking around with cancerous ailments, but they still show up at police stations and law enforcement agencies? That's why I asked the very first questioner, what is so special about Mr. Ofori-Atta that he thinks that he can lie on his bed somewhere and say on his say-so without any evidence that I'm unwell, I can't show up? Conclusion, he won't come voluntarily. And so we end this process of accommodating him and putting him back on the wanted list. Yes. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is William Johnson, and I work with
Enkachiana.
Okay,
let's do that. Let's do that.
You said you wanted Ofori-Atta in person.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that our laws do not permit trial in absentia? Is Is it a case that all the documents that have been presented to you by Ken Ofori-Atta, you seem not to have, it does not meet your threshold? Is it also possible that the OSP will elect to go through the process or the trial, and at the end of the day, if the court listens to you and upheld in your favor, the court will declare, or the court will put him to a place that he is supposed to be put, rather than it appearing that the SP or the OSP is becoming a judge in his own court. Thank you.
On this, I would also want to ask you a question. Is it? Is this the first time that someone in our country has been declared wanted? Is it? All the persons previously declared wanted before him, were they human? Or they were not human? He is the only human. There's nothing special about this. That is all I'm pointing at. There's nothing special. There's nothing secretive or esoteric about it. It is just a simple legal process. Law enforcement agency wants you, you show up. If you see the gentleman standing by you, if he comes to you to say that you are under arrest, and you do not go quietly with him, what will happen? He will enforce it. If he doesn't reduce the length of one of your your legs and hauls you along with him. That's all I'm saying. There's no choice about you responding to criminal law enforcement. See, this video conferencing. This is not a civil inquiry. This is not a taking of a deposition in some matter before which we are filing before a court or not. Mind you, we are still in the investigative stage. We haven't filed yet. So everything now is under the purview of the OSP. You get it? Before we go to court, if the court says some emissaries should be taken there to question him under the largesse of whichever authority in whatever jurisdiction he may be found, that's fine. But for us doing investigations, we need to find our criminal suspects. We cannot just sit here and treat things lightly. You are the same person who will turn around and say, we are treating some harshly and we are sugarcoating others. For as far as we are concerned, Mr. Ofori-Atta is not special. I will repeat. We investigated a former president. Have you forgotten? On 8 August 2024, I came right in this room and told Ghanaians our conclusions and our findings. A former president. He was served with the same processes. He showed up. I'll repeat again, much less a finance minister, a former finance minister. The OSP stands for this. We do not regard persons. We do not regard titles. We do not regard your station in life. Everyone is the same to us. As we have set the precedent of investigating a former president, no one is beyond our purview. Everyone is fair game if we think you are a suspect in a criminal inquiry. Trial in absentia. I indicated so, that we've triggered the processes for his enforced return back to the jurisdiction. By the time we are ready to go to court, he is still not here. We will file. If we commence the trial, he is still not here. We will commence the proceedings. He can choose to be there, wherever he is, if we haven't found him yet, if we have not enforced his appearance before. See, criminal proceedings are not to be taken lightly. You respond to them. Even civil proceedings. If you fail to respond to civil proceedings, you will be sitting in your office or home one day and processes will be served on you that you've lost your house. just because you sat by and didn't respond. And criminal proceedings, now I'm beginning to feel as if I'm in a lecture hall at Legon. With criminal proceedings, you stand the specter of losing your freedom, of losing something valuable to you by way of a fine. And that is no proceeding to joke with. Can I go now? Which is? Oh, documents. Are we a judge in our own cause? We are looking for someone to apprehend, and you're asking whether we are judging our own cause. If we are judging our own cause, it means the law says we should be a judge in our own causes, but it cannot be the case. The law gives us the mandate to investigate and prosecute suspected offenders. The law gives us the mandate copiously by spelling out our investigative powers. This is all we are doing. Mind you, we are performing a statutory function of investigations and likely prosecution. We haven't rendered any judgment on him, have we? Have we said he's guilty of one offense or the other? We haven't said that. We are only saying we have accommodated him enough, and we are not going to go further. He is now a wanted person again and a fugitive from justice. That's the last, right?
You heard that the special prosecutor addressing a news conference. Well, thankfully, I have with me Frank Davis, who's chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Committee of the NPP. He's also a key member of the legal team for Ken Ofori-Atta. I appreciate your time here on Top Story. Now, the special prosecutor has declared your client a wanted man, a fugitive of justice, officially triggering that red notice to Interpol. How do you respond to this?
Well, good evening to your esteemed listeners and cherished viewers. Well, he has declared him a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. I've listened to all that he said. He's triggered processes to ensure his forced return into the country. He has also caused a red notice alert on him. He has or is in the process of triggering extradition or commencing extradition proceedings for him to ensure a return of Kenneth Ofori-Atta into the jurisdiction. Well, that is what he has opted to do. So he should start and carry it out. But I would just say this to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, that he should stick to his core duties as a special prosecutor and as a trained lawyer. I don't know when he became a medical practitioner to be giving interpretations to biopsy tests and all that he said. I don't remember the last time that he became a Surgeon General. He's a legal practitioner. He should stick to his core duties and stop getting himself in areas where he has very little knowledge. It doesn't do his office any good. This pandering to theatricals and public showmanship and whatever, I think it's unnecessary, clearly unnecessary. It doesn't add anything to his office. It rather subtracts. Okay, don't let us play to the gallery and be doing these things. When somebody's health is concerned, he can say whatever he wants to say. To the point of saying that is Mr. Ofori-Atta going to die tomorrow? Really? A public officer, and this is the language you use. Whether Ofori-Atta is going to die tomorrow. I don't think that is elegant enough. But be that as it may, he has outlined what he wants to do. He can carry it out. Ofori-Atta, Kenneth Ofori-Atta, he knows where to find him. So he should go ahead and bring him into the jurisdiction. But
But as his lawyers, I'm sure you must be concerned. As his lawyers, you must be concerned about this. Some of the key concerns he raised was that you failed to present any medical report, and he stressed that any medical report which suggests that Ken Ofori-Atta is at travel risk. Is that the case from where you sit?
He failed to show or give any medical report that he's a travel risk. What medical report was he looking for? Except the one that was sent to him. But if he's been kind enough, I didn't think he was going to disclose this. But if he's gone ahead to say that Ofori-Atta has been diagnosed, that he has a cancer ailment, he does not appreciate that. He does not appreciate that. And he thinks that he poses the question, do you know the number of people working in this country with cancer? Does he know what they are going through? You see, the special prosecutor should be very careful. You see, when you are put into a public office, it does not give you the liberty to just be saying things off your head and be saying anything that you like. But we all live by the dictates. Let us be fair to each other.
Do you have a medical report that states that your client is travel risk?
We sent a report posted by the doctors to him, and the conclusion of the doctors was that he was unable to make the appointment. What does that suggest? Now, he says he's responded to the letters by Ken's lawyers. And
he says in his statement that he has... I will let you land. I just want clarity. I'll let you land if you allow me. He says that he has declined to view the biopsy report. He says it is pointless. Did you send him the biopsy report?
If it was not sent to him, will you comment on it? If it was not sent to him, the question you're asking me, if it was not sent to the public, the special prosecutor, will you comment on it and say that it is pointless? I mean, so what kind of question are you asking me? It was sent to him. That is why he says it is pointless. Does it lie in his domain? As a lawyer, to be making such comments. Why is he not a medic? Something has been sent to you. You are saying that you won't look at it. Fine. That is your discretion. But don't make judgmental remarks on it. Is he a doctor? Is he a medical practitioner to speak to the kind of test he was referring to? If he wanted clear confirmation, maybe he could have considered a surgeon rather than make those postulations. When did he mortify into a doctor? Let us stick to the issues and then let us pander to this public showmanship.
What does this mean for your case in court? Because some of the key reliefs you're seeking when you appear before the court on the 18th of June is that the OSP be prohibited from declaring your client wanted. He has gone ahead to do that. What does that mean for your case in court?
He has showed his hand boastfully. We are all lawyers who also know what to do. I'm not about to sit or talk on radio to be telling you what I'm going to do on behalf of my clients. That is clearly unprofessional. He has showed his hand about what he intends to do. He is a lawyer just as we are. We will also do what we have to do. As simple as that.
He says that he'll be trying your client in absentia. What does this mean for you, really? How will you fight this?
Ask him first. The duty of any prosecutorial authority, which he says there is to prove guilt of accused persons or suspects beyond reasonable doubt in a court of competent jurisdiction. It is not to come and be giving press statements and just putting words together. He says he's going to try him in absentia. Has he exhausted any means possible for him to try enough? You only try someone in absentia when you're unable to get the person. Have we crossed that threshold? Why is he being simply incoherent and inconsistent? You claim you want to bring the person into the country. So why are you talking about trial in absentia? Is he now telling us that he cannot bring him? He is boasting that he's going to red notice alert, Interpol, extradition, whatever. He should bring him and stop talking about trial in absentia. He says he's bringing him. So we are waiting for him to bring Ken Ofori-Atta, and then we'll go to court. He says he's declined a video recorded interview because this is not a civil proceeding, it's a criminal proceeding. But I believe that we all understand, and I'm sure he should be guided. He should be guided by his own remarks. There's no distinction when it comes to video recorded interview, whether it is a civil or criminal proceeding, and he should know better. So he says he's bringing him. You should bring him, and stop talking about trial in absentia. I don't think I'm about and prepared to answer that question. He should go ahead and try him in absentia.
What should we expect from your camp?
What should you expect from our camp? Why? What are you expecting? Do we prosecute? We are not prosecutors. He is a prosecutor. And he says you use every means possible to bring him here. And Ken Ofori-Atta doesn't have a choice. He's a human being just like anybody else. We haven't said anywhere that Mr. Ofori-Atta is a superhuman or he's a spirit or he's a fetish. He is a human being, yes, like anybody else. So if he says he's unamenable to this procedure, he should bring him. Nothing. There's nothing in our camp. If Ofori-Atta comes to Ghana, but he says so, he will be represented. That's for sure.
For our audience listening, they want to know the exact current medical condition of Ken Ofori-Atta. We know that the special prosecutor has given a little bit of details as to the exact medical issue that he's facing, but currently, as we speak, what is his current state? Is he bedridden?
Look here. We all have to be professional about what we do. You're a trained journalist. I'm a trained lawyer. They are trained medical practitioners. You think my client's medical condition, I should be on radio divulging to you my client's medical condition? Excuse me, why? The Ghanaians want to know what? You think my client's medical condition? He has been telling that he has cancer. So ask him. I should be telling you my client's medical condition. I'm unable to do that. I'm simply unable to do that. And I'm not even allowed to do that. That is why our communication to him was private. If we wanted to divulge what was happening to our client, we will serve it in the public domain. We sent him a letter. As of today, I am talking to you as Ken's lawyer. I haven't cited any response. He says he dispatched a response on the 30th of May. I have not seen such a response. And if we did something confidential and privileged, you should come out and bleat out that the man has cancer. Ask him what is wrong with Ken Ofori-Atta. Don't ask me.
And we will be challenging some of this in court.
My dear, when we get to court, you will know what will happen in court.
Thank you so much for your time, Frank Davis. He is chairman of the Constitutional Legal Committee of the NPP. You're still listening to Top Story, and I'm handing the baton to Evans Mensah. It's time for Newsnight.
Telecel Cash has the lowest transfer charges ever in Ghana. Send a keke with Telecel Cash. You for sort out your old boy, send a keke. Your girl debut you, send a keke. Merchant payments, send a keke to all networks. T-Cash agents in Swansea, baby. You won't buy some 1212. Send a keke. And even better, T-Cash to T-Cash transfers are still free on the Telecel Play app. Telecel Cash is a secure and convenient platform for cash transfers across all networks and anywhere mobile money transactions are made. Dial *110# to send money at the lowest charges ever, or download the Telecel Play app to send cash to T-Cash wallets for free. Telecel Cash. Send the keke.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears. Bugging me all night long. Till for the remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. Me, I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me die, my God, with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
Tonight, nowhere to hide for former Finance Minister Ofori-Atta. A special prosecutor triggers worldwide manhunt for the man accused of corruption.
About 30 minutes before this briefing, I triggered processes for the issuance of an Interpol Red Notice for the location and provisional arrest of Mr. Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta in whichever jurisdiction pending extradition or his surrender. Around the same time, I dispatched a request for extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which Mr. Ofori-Atta may be located or found.
We are live at the headquarters of the OSP. Also tonight, Iyoko's iron grip on Chairman Wontumi's detention drags on as his lawyers and party continue to face challenges in securing his bail.
So someone is saying that this application stalled the process is disingenuous. If indeed the conditions as put down by Iyoko have been met on Friday, all they ought to have done was to have pay bond for Chairman Wontumi to go home.
Marketing firms engage in some price wars, a move expected to benefit consumers.
And in sports, title challenges, Nations FC could pull out of the Ghana Premier League following mayhem during their clash against Holy Stars on Sunday.
You want to join us with your views and comments here on News Night. We'll be live also at the Iyoko headquarters where party supporters are still pitching camp tonight demanding Chairman Wontumi's release. And we'll also explore how Chairman Wontumi's detention is fueling MPP's internal politics with party flag bearer aspirants cashing in on his arrest. We start with that breaking news from the office of the special prosecutor. And the last 30 minutes, he has now declared Ken Ofori-Atta wanted once more. This time, Ken Ofori-Atta, he says, has nowhere to hide as he's now triggered a worldwide manhunt for the man he accuses of corruption. This is the special prosecutor, Kise Jabin, addressing news conference a short while ago.
The letter from Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers, dated 18 February 2025, clearly indicated that a possible surgical intervention to be performed on him was to occur on 20 and 21 March 2025, upon which reckoning the OSP carefully considered the recovery period and indulgently pushed Mr. Ofori-Atta's attendance at the OSP to 2 June 2025. Therefore, Mr. Ofori-Atta had a duty to promptly inform the OSP of any fundamental change in his medical circumstances on 21 March 2025, when the advertised surgical intervention was not performed, to enable the OSP reschedule a new date of his attendance at the OSP to accommodate any such material changes in his medical condition and treatment itinerary. Mr. Ofori-Atta has known, at least since 21 March 2025, that no surgical procedure was to be performed on him in March. Yet, he purposely sat by indolently and chose not to inform the OSP of such fundamental changes in his circumstances. Instead, about 67 days after learning of the alleged changed circumstances around 21 March 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta elected to spring a surprise on the OSP on 28 May 2025, just 6 days before his scheduled attendance at the OSP, by offering to undergo a video recorded interview, and a viewing of his biopsy report. Now, back to the 28 May 2025 letter from the lawyers of Mr. Ofori-Atta. As I said, this is where we are. By a letter dated 30 May 2025, the OSP declined Mr. Ofori-Atta's offer of video recorded interview for the purpose of eliciting his caution statement. This office has always insisted on his personal attendance, and we have indicated clearly to him that we are unwilling to waive it. If we were amenable to taking any such statement from Mr. Ofori-Atta in absentia, we would have done so in February and not waited to 2 June 2025. We want him here physically, and we insist on it. A suspect in a criminal investigation does not pick and choose how the investigative authority should conduct its investigations and the method suitable to him and his convenience. We will not countenance such conduct, not in this case or in any other case. Further, the OSP has declined Mr. Ofori-Atta's invitation to view his biopsy report as we consider it a pointless exercise. This is because it is common learning that the biopsy report contains nothing more than a conclusion upon the removal and examination of tissue, cells, or fluids from a living body that some disease or malady was indicated in the samples taken. A biopsy report is not an expression of a reasoned medical opinion that the subject of the report is an invalid and unable to travel, as Mr. Ofori-Atta seeks to suggest is his condition, and for which reason he says he cannot return to the jurisdiction. This much is clear. Since 24 January 2025 till date, Mr. Ofori-Atta has failed to show any medical report. I underline, he has failed to show any medical report which suggests that he is a travel risk and unable to return to the jurisdiction by reason of his medical condition. It has all been his say-so, his singular say-so. Therefore, the OSP views Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyer's letter dated 28 May 2025 as an expression of utter bad faith on the part of Mr. Ofori-Atta, and it confirms our long-held, well-considered opinion and conclusion that Mr. Ofori-Atta has no intention of voluntarily returning to the jurisdiction and to attend the OSP. Further, this office is unaware of his purported information to the court, whether orally or by filed processes, of the alleged change in his circumstances. Today is Monday, 2 June 2025. It is more than 3 hours past the scheduled time of Mr. Ofori-Atta's attendance at the OSP, and Mr. Ofori-Atta failed to attend the OSP today. Mr. Ofori-Atta's conduct is totally unacceptable and a baleful spite at law enforcement and criminal investigations. It ends here. It ends today. We will no longer accommodate him. Consequently, the OSP redeclares that Mr. Ofori-Atta is a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. His name is hereby re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons. The OSP will take all necessary legal steps to secure Mr. Ofori-Atta's return to the jurisdiction and to answer to the criminal inquiries against him. In pursuance of this, about 30 minutes before this briefing, I triggered processes for the issuance of an Interpol red notice, pending extradition or his surrender. Around the same time, I dispatched a request for extradition processes to be instituted for this extradition to the Republic of Ghana. The OSP will prefer criminal charges in the courts against Mr. Ofori-Atta in due course, whether in absentia or otherwise. The principle upon which we proceed is that no person, regardless of title, regardless of status, regardless of medical, is beyond the reach of inquiry by the OSP.
I want to bring in Martin Kpebu, lawyer. We'll also be speaking to the Director of Strategy at the OSP, Sami Dako. But to you first, Martin, a quick reaction to what we just heard there from the OSP. As expected or overreaching?
Overall, it's okay. I mean, it's all right for democracy. So that's to say, let's leave all the rigmarole, right? Go straight for the last part where he says that he has begun processes for extradition. He has also begun processes for him to be put back on the Interpol Red Alert. And most especially for me, he says when they are ready to go to court, they will go, even if it's not yet in. So I'm interested in that one. Beginning to do the trial in absentia, right, so that there can be progress. Yes, because you see, and Evans, the other one, to be very candid too, I thought that Mr. Ejabin will also look at the video conferencing thing. You see, when he says that they insist that he must be present, he hasn't so far articulated his reasons why he must be present. If you just say you insist he should come, articulate the reasons. You see, I can't go into the OSC's mind and start giving all the reasons. He must, so that Ghanaians, everybody will follow. That is in the OSC statement. Maybe I'll begin to hazard a guess and then they'll say, no, that's wrong. Because once we have a law that says that we can request that a video conferencing, etc., be done, where you want to shun that law aside, okay, or you want to, you are not going to use that law, there should be reasons, yes, very articulate reasons, that it's because of X, Y, Z that I don't want to use the Mutual Legal Assistance Act 807 of 2010, because that place you see a number of provisions saying that he should go through the Attorney General, and the Attorney General apply to the U.S. court, etc., to pave the way. That's the law we use for the criminal cases. So if you don't want to use it, maybe rather than just saying that I insist he should come, if I wanted to do video conferencing, etc., I would have done that long ago. It's not sufficient.
And you didn't hear any concrete reasons why he insists he must be here in person at all costs.
Exactly. That's what I say.
Stay with me, thankfully.
He should beef at that part.
Thankfully, we have Sami Dako on the line. He's the director for strategy at the OSP. Sami, that's a key point that Martin makes, but also the Ken Ofori-Atta's lawyers also make the same point, that they haven't said they would not attend on the OSP. They say that he isn't well, and right now what he can do is answer your questions, but answer it virtually. Martin says there's a law that allows that to happen, and he hasn't heard any reason from the OSP yet why he's insisting the man must be here in person. How do you respond to that? Okay, we may have lost him there online. We'll try and get him back on that very important clarification. We've heard the lawyers of Ken Ofori-Atta already say that as far as they're concerned, this matter will have to be determined in a court of competent jurisdiction. But, Marty, there is an important point here today that we heard from the OSP about the extradition processes that he has begun. It isn't as simple as is, say, let's assume he is still in the U.S. We still don't have clarity on that yet. At least the last communication that was put out by the OSP in the last press conference, not this one, we were told that he is in a hospital in the U.S. Let's assume he is there. I mean, what must the OSP do to get him arrested and extradited to Ghana?
Yeah, like you said, it's a long process. That's why I'm happy that the OSP says they will go to court when they are ready, meaning that currently they are not ready to file tomorrow. Now, to get extradition proceedings, done, etc. Now, the man is in the U.S. So you see that as part of it, in matter fact, they will still require part of the legal assistance from the U.S. government, right? Now, they would have to send the dossier charges and explain why they need him in Ghana. Then they would get retained counsel in the U.S. Then that counsel will go through all the processes and go see the government of the U.S., right? Then the government of the U.S. will now do the processes, like what we do in Ghana here. The Attorney General does it for other people. right? They would have to arrest him. And where I'm scared and it will take a lot of time is that when they arrest Ofori-Atta, based on what he's saying, there's going to be a critical issue of fitness to plead. Fitness to plead. Let's use the common one that most Ghanaians may be familiar with. Match fitness, like in football, match fitness. So he'll be making a case of fitness to plead that he's not well. And now you require medical doctors to go to the U.S. court there to give evidence, etc. So there will be a lot of rigmarole, legal processes here and there. So as you rightly indicated in your question, it's not a matter to be done in a few months. It can be long drawn. You remember Julian Assange's extradition? Yes. You see, that's how come I'm happy he says whilst extradition is ongoing, he would also take steps to go to court when he's ready. That would be a good cure. So that while they are fighting the extradition processes, maybe the court processes here too can be going on. And I hope Ofori-Atta has enough properties in Ghana so that if he doesn't show up and he's convicted, then we can go against the properties. Yes, they will be recovered. At least it won't be all. Yes, I'm sure somebody of Ofori-Atta's intelligence, but now they've shipped out a lot. But at least we will get something in Ghana here. And then that also means that then for a long time he won't be coming here. He would have lost social capital, and that's very, very important. A man at his age, if he doesn't come, all his social capital will be gone. Can you imagine? His children, wife, the rest of his family, the embarrassment. So maybe if he looks at it from that angle, he is likely to cooperate by coming back. Because if he doesn't come here to fight, it will be easy for OSP to win in court. And once he wins, that will be difficult to overturn. So let's see how it pans out.
And then very finally, the aspect of this case is before a court in Ghana. His lawyers are attempting, and one of the reliefs they're asking is for the court to stop the OSP from declaring him wanted. I mean, that case is pending. Yeah, the OSP, as we know, has gone ahead to declare him wanted nonetheless. Is that a violation of due process?
No, not that I can see. So my understanding is that the lawsuit is on the previous declaration. That's the previous case that went to court. That's the first time he was declared wanted. So it means that they are challenging their processes. So when the judgment comes out, then we'll know. But this is a new declaration. And remember that this new declaration is based on his own earlier assurances to the OSP that he will be here. He will meet them on the 2nd of June, today, at a specified time. And to the extent that he hasn't fulfilled that promise, this one is totally different from the first one. Yeah, you know, the first declaration myself, I had criticized the OSP that I wouldn't have done so. I didn't support Mr. Jabin on that one. Because key in that earlier one was the fact that when Ofori-Atta was traveling, he notified the Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Debra. And I can't imagine how Mr. Debra's office had that information and they didn't fear of law enforcement agencies. I was like, no. Such a thing, there is no way. And we all know that Ofori-Atta is public enemy number one. Me talking to you today, trying to be objective, myself, I want him being prosecuted. I have the SNL case. I've sued Ofori-Atta. But you see that I'm not saying that just because I've sued you over the SML matter for Ben Boachi's ASAP, CDD, Manasseh Azure, fourth estate, etc. So I should just jump in and say, crucify Ofori-Atta. No, I want to be objective. So the first declaration of Ofori-Atta as a wanted person, I didn't support OSP on it. But this second one, I'm fully behind the OSP.
Martin, thank you very much. And if you're just joining us tonight, the OSP has not only declared Ken Ofori-Atta wanted, but he has also triggered a worldwide process to have him arrested wherever he is and be extradited back to Ghana. As it has been said, there's nowhere to hide for Ken Ofori-Atta. But this is not the only case the OSP updated us on today. There are 3 other cases, including Cecilia Dapa's case, which we're now learning tonight, that may be reopened, but by IOCO. That has already requested for some documentation. My colleague, Mr. Thompson, was at the offices of the Special Prosecutor and joins us on the line right now. Mami, give us an update on the other 3 cases. Let's start with the case of Cecilia Dapa.
Indeed, Evans. So on the Cecilia Dapa case, he indicates that under the new management of IOCO, the case has been recalled for another bout of investigation. Even though IOCO under the Ekofado administration, no direct case of corruption was found, especially linking it to her closing up accounts for money laundering. The OSP indicates that they're ready to lend their support to IOCO to still investigate the matter. So as to what the IOCO is going to investigate, we're yet to know what. And the OSP also touched on the case involving Charles Bisu, and tells us that a case of plea bargain has been filed at the court, and processes will be concluded in the coming days. Well, he also revealed that his office has uncovered more than 280 million lost to corruption at the National Petroleum Authority, and that the acts of corruption were uncovered between the year of 2022-2024, where high-ranking officials at that authority used their office for personal gain.
In the Charles Bisu case, he talks about, as you mentioned, there's a plea bargaining agreement that they've now entered into. Who exactly with?
So that was not given. We do not know the details of the plea bargain case. According to him, the processes will be completed in the coming days, and then get to know the details of that case.
Mami, thank you very much. And that there is an update from the OSP's office. And then additional details that we are now getting on that last point there that Mami was just updating us on with the plea bargain. We now understand that it is one Andy Thomas Owusu. He's the second accused in that same case. We're now learning from the OSP that he has negotiated a plea bargain with the OSP. It has now been filed also, and it's in respect of the plea bargain, which the restitutive and reparative in nature, and will be concluded in court in the coming days, as Mami just confirmed there. So one person, a second accused person, has been plea bargaining with the OSP on that. It raises fundamental questions about the main accused individual in this case, Charles Bisu, and this is another case that is unfolding, and the OSP is determined to see through with that. I want to hear from you, 055-11-11-997. This is News Night. Now, MPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Boisiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, remains in IOCO's grips tonight after his lawyers withdrew a court application seeking to ease bail conditions deemed unreasonable and punitive. Now, the conditions, 50 million cedis bail bond with 2 sureties to be justified, have sparked controversy. Chairman Wontumi faces allegations of, as you know, fraud, money laundering, and financial loss to the state, as well as an internationally organized crime, which is currently also being probed. With his lawyers abandoning the bail review application, his detention continues, fueling tensions within the MPP. But the case filed to review the bail conditions was blamed by some of his lawyers for his continued detention. That application has now been abandoned. Gary Nemako is the Director of Legal Affairs for the MPP.
This was only a fallback clause to ensure that in the event that the bail does not go through, it can be taken to court for the court to vary the terms as imposed by IOCO. So someone is saying that this application stalled the process or halted the process for the bail execution. It is ingenious. There's no force of law, because if indeed the conditions as put down by IOCO have been met on Friday, all they ought to have done was to have a bail bond for Chairman Wontumi to go home. Every lawyer knows, a year one lawyer knows, that variation application is not an injunction application. So that statement that he made, it has no force of law, and it should be discarded.
Why do you think he was motivated to make such statements, though?
Well, he can explain that, because if you say that the condition to it can be taken to court, so does not go through, it can be taken to court for the court to vary the terms as imposed by IOCO. So someone is saying that this application stalled the process or altered the process for the bail execution. It is ingenious. There's no force of law, because if indeed the conditions as put down by IOCO have been met on Friday, all they ought to have done was to a bail bond for Chairman Wontumi to go home. Every lawyer knows. A year one lawyer knows.
Until they release Chairman Wontumi to us, we won't live here. We are still waiting, and I want to know how the leadership. Yeah, but how 5 a.m. Well, it's been almost 12 hours, and it's not free.
So you just listening there to a few of the Wontumi supporters who have thronged the premises of IOCO, still demanding that he is released. I want to bring in my colleague, Papani Ashale, who is there for us. Papa, what can you report tonight? Any indication that Chairman Wontumi will go home and sleep in his own bed tonight?
As it stands now,
well, unfortunately, that connection to him isn't great. We'll try and get him back on the better line so we get that. We also understand that the supporters there have been clashing with the police, but some of them are also blocking the roads there, insisting that they will not move until Wontumi has been let go. We'll go back there now and bring in Papani and Shirley, hopefully on a better line. Hello, Papa, can you hear me?
In the middle of the street, right in front of the this is about.
We'll try and rectify that connection to Papani Ashali, the terrible connection there. But we know this has been a running battle as far as the party is concerned. And we know that there's still, he has actually met the sureties from what we understand. The sureties have not been justified. The key question really remains what really is holding him. We're trying to get clarity. Meanwhile, with the MPP Ashanti Regional Chairman still in custody and yet to be released, it appears the battle for the New Patriotic Party's 2028 flag bearership is already playing out, not at rallies or policy forums, but in the chaotic aftermath of Chairman Wontumi's arrest. What began as a legal tussle over stringent bail conditions quickly transformed into a political turf war as three presidential hopefuls, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Kennedy Japan, and Dr. Brian Champon, each seizing the moment to assert influence and position themselves as the party's next leader. Rico Asante of our political desk has more.
The NPP flag bearership race is still many months away, but the party is already ablaze, not with ideas, at least not yet, but ambition, drama, and political muzzle flexing. The arrest of the party's controversial Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Enchibo-Siakon, aka Chairman Wontumi, turned the halls of IOCO and National Intelligence Bureau into a political battleground. And from the smoke, three men are emerging, each hungry to wear the NPP crown in 2028. When IOCO threw down the gauntlet with a staggering bail condition of 50 million cedis with two sureties to be justified, it now became more than just a struggle to meet the hefty bail conditions. It became an opportunity for internal political grandstanding by NPP's three frontrunners for the flag bearership contest. Chairman Wontumi's trouble became a test for who has the most influence and who can milk the political capital to boost his chances with the party's base in the Ashanti region where Wontumi is chairman. Enter Kennedy Japan, the ever-fiery, no-nonsense former MP known for his brash confidence. He was the first to show up with a promise to free Wontumi, but promises aren't paperwork, and his attempt to produce sureties failed spectacularly.
And this is Honorable Kennedy in Japan.
Oh, he also came forward.
Yes, he came forward. He brought some documents. And these documents, upon verification, realized that they were either leases or assignments that had not been registered. So they lacked title. So we couldn't use such documents. And I told him.
The first shot was fired. The first flag bearer hopeful had failed. Wontumi remained locked up. Then came the former vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, thought of generally as more polished, strategic, and a presumed heir to the NPP's throne. After all, he was the party's flag bearer in the last election. He took to his Facebook page to announce that he had been in constant touch with Wontumi's lawyers and had called on Yoko to respect Wontumi's rights. His aide, Akbar Yusuf Rahula, was more bullish. He rushed to Facebook, declaring the mission accomplished, security secured, and freedom assured. But then, delete. The post vanished, and so did hopes of a Bawumia rescue. Undeterred, Bawumia showed up himself at the NIB headquarters, cameras trailing, hoping for a grand political moment. Instead, he was greeted with chaos.
Office, you see, there's a scuffle between the police officers and the party supporters now. The police officers are trying to prevent the party supporters from access into the NIB.
And denied even the chance to see Wontumi.
To see him and see how he was doing. We've made those arrangements. Unfortunately, we are here, but the NIB and EOCO feel that the crowd is such that they are not able to bring him here at the moment, and they would have to make proper arrangements.
His efforts were valiant, but the optics were painful. The man many called the natural successor couldn't pull enough strings to free one of his most vocal loyalists. And then came the dark horse, former Agric Minister and current MP for Abetifi, Dr. Brian Achampong. Not one for flashy shows or social media stunts. Brian had formed an exploratory committee on his bid for 2028. Now he perhaps saw this moment, not to speak, but to act. At this point, Wontumi had one surety. The second had become elusive. And then, in a power move, wrapped in silence, Brian appeared to have delivered.
They have been able to provide the sureties. That one I can assure you. And I'm very grateful to Honorable Brian Achampong, who has supported me to file the documents. He has brought his documents to which goes over and above the value of money that is required.
Suddenly, the second surety was secured. The gates of Yoko looked ready to swing open. Brian hailed as a savior, the man who gets things done. No noise, just results.
Okay, so we're going to go through the formalities.
And when you talk about formalities, what exactly is left with?
I mean, we just finished the inspection of the property, so we just have to come, they check the values, and then we're good to go.
But it has to be said that Wontumi's lawyer, Pia Kubi, is no neutral broker in this matter. He was first to publicly announce that Brian Achampong will run for president. It now appeared that Wontumi's freedom was assured, but then a political plot twist. Gary Nimako, the NPP's own Director of Legal Affairs, filed a last-minute motion at the High Court seeking to revise the bill conditions. The move complicated Wontumi's release, leaving him behind bars for the weekend.
Hopefully for Monday, when this application is withdrawn, then we'll proceed to complete what we are doing.
I get that becomes a conditionality then, that if this application is withdrawn, your client gets to go home.
Pending, that will impeach them from continuing with the negotiations. Otherwise, we need to wait and this application is taken and the results come before we can also come in.
The motion has since been withdrawn and lawyers are scrambling to finalize paperwork. All things being equal, Wontumi walks free by close of day. If this whole Wontumi Bill soap opera was a test of which aspiring NPP flag bearer has the most pull ahead of what promises to be a fierce and bitter internal contest, then surely Brian Achampong appears to have walked away with the most political capital. The battle lines have been drawn. Kweku Asante for Joy News.
Dr. Kwame Asante is a senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana Political Science Department, joins us right now, and we watch this unfold. Of course, a predicament for Chairman Wontumi, but it's very obvious, is that the aspirants are taking advantage of this to make a pitch to the party's base, especially in the Ashanti region.
Good evening, Evans, and thanks for the opportunity. I think it's normal in politics, because there's what we call who gets what, when and how. that in politics, people make decisions, and that those decisions are the things they base their hopes on. And for that matter, they take advantage of their decision and then implement it to the fullest. If you look at what has transpired so far, remember when you look at Wontumi, he is a big figure in MPP, particularly in Ashanti region. So when he is facing an issue like that, you expect that all the bigwigs within the party will gravitate towards him and show him some support. If you shy away from this exercise, obviously you will not be in the good books of Wontumi. And that is what is playing out. But it does not necessarily mean that if you have gone to secure the sureties for him, he is going to be in your camp come the next internal elections. Anything can happen, but at least you can be assured that he can lend you some little support when the time comes. Quite apart from that, why people are doing this thing is because, the chairman is a big figure in MPP, particularly in the Ashanti region. If he goes down with this case, he's going to create all manner of problems for the party in terms of its image. So they really want to give him all the support to fight this battle head on, so that the party will stand tall in the eyes of those who support the parties and those that they want to win into their fold. Quite apart from all these things, remember we are talking about what a family NPP. That one is affected. You expect that the party will rally behind that individual to be able to fight whatever battle. And that's the essence of having a political party. We are talking about numbers, and the numbers that will stand for you when the need arises.
Dr. Asante, thank you very much. I want to take you to the Yoko premises now. Papa Ania Shale is there for us. And Papa, the supporters are still there in their numbers, are they not? Do you have an indication if indeed he will walk free tonight? He'll walk home on bail tonight?
Actually, I think about 11:50, and that was when I saw lawyer for ceremony and then also some deputy labor minister. Things that they were inside the building. None of them have come out then. And people, some of these supporters have been here. All in countries, they are here only to welcome and see some of them. But that doesn't happen. Since 7 a.m., that we put it 7 hours now, and Chairman Wontumi has still not worked. It's just a promise now. It looks like that Chairman Wontumi is going to work now. But at the time, Daniel Champion told us that his document he submitted had been accepted by Yoko and then verified. So for many of these people, they are wondering why it took 7 hours to release Chairman Wontumi. Just a couple of days ago, in the middle of the road, especially traffic flow. They are growing by the minute, angry that Chairman Wontumi has not seen the light of day since 11 a.m.
Papa, thank you very much. And Papa would stay at the Yoko offices, and apologies for that inconsistent line there with him. But George Affe is joining me right now with business. A lot happening as far as the legal processes are concerned, due process, etc. What do you have in the headlines?
Oil marketing firms engage in some price wars, a move expected to benefit consumers as they respond to the city's current good run against the US dollar. And Ghana's scope service to aid smooth implementation of government's flagship program, 24-hour economy, as well as employment with fresh economic data. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business.
Visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
"It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all."
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
M&C Group is a leading investment holding company with expertise in minerals and food commodity trading, precious minerals refinery, real estate development, and logistics and energy. With individually registered companies, our headquarters is located in Accra, Ghana, with operational offices in Dubai, UAE, Hong Kong, and Guangzhou in China, Johannesburg in South Africa, Virginia in the USA, and Milan, Italy. We connect business markets and drive growth. Trust us to maximize value in every deal. Call us on 0302 551 917 or 0302 551 918 or send us an email mncgroup@mncgroupgh.com. MNC Group, totally reliant.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHS, Kumasi KNUST campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302 764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website www.kingdomgh.com.
Brush your teeth every day and night, up and down and all around, brush like feeling bright. Brush your teeth, brush with mom and dad, underneath and in between, brush the germs away.
Precedent, cavity protection.
For 10 times stronger.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sasso, sasso, come tonton precon. Sasso, sasso, come tonton precon. Edrana dramin ya buseshe. Ya hakasia ne malaria. Minya me kone me sasso spray. Every mosquito start to run away. Come tonton precon. Sasso, sasso, mi se come tonton precon. Come tonton precon. Sasso, come tonton precon. Nani shamne die e demonstronko.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, some oil marketing companies are battling it out when it comes to having the lowest price for the various petroleum products. There is more in the following Business Text report.
Star Oil, which is currently leading the market in terms of volumes this morning, dropped its prices to 12 cedis 77 pesos per litre. Allied this morning had reduced prices at the pumps, selling a litre of petrol at 12 cedis 15 pesos. However, earlier today, Allied had announced another drop in the price of fuel, selling a litre of petrol at 11 cedis 45 pesos. Another player that has been beaten by the price quote told Joy Business that they will move to reduce their prices at the pumps. But from the way things are going, it looks like another oil marketing firm may also join the fray when it comes to reducing prices. For some market watchers, in all of these, it is the consumer that benefits from this development. But with projections that the city is going to strengthen further in the coming days, it is clear that consumers can prepare themselves for more reduction in prices of petroleum products at the pumps.
And of course, this morning, Star Oil did drop their price to 11 Ghana cedis, 77 pesos. And later, we saw Allied also coming in with 11 Ghana cedis, 45 pesos. To other news, and the Ghana Statistical Service has indicated that it will make it has made some significant progress on providing the government with the needed data to aid its 24-hour economy program. Now, it argues that this would be also be able to provide accurate data on the country's employment situation. Government statistician Dr. Alassane Idrisu was speaking to journalists at the launch of the Phase 2 of the 2025 Integrated Business Establishment Survey in Winneba in the Central Region.
Definitely, the information or the data we'll collect from the IBES will definitely inform the implementation of the 24-hour economy, the tracking of the progress government is making on it, etc., etc. But also, we are going to engage not just government, we are going to engage the business community, because this is data about businesses, right? So we engage the business community so that businesses can also have access to the data we'll collect for planning purposes, so that they would also use it to make decisions at the business level to optimize their growth, to optimize their production, optimize their profitability, etc., etc. But households are not left out. I mean, households would also be very relevant in this equation. At the household level, we are the people who get employed into the businesses, right? And so this survey is also extremely important to households. With this data, we'll be able to tell a lot about employment. We'll be able to know the type of employment that existing businesses are employing, the type of people existing businesses are employing.
Government statistician Dr. Alassane Idrisu speaking to journalists at the launch of the Phase 2 of the 2025 Integrated Business Establishment Survey in Winneba in the Central Region. The Ghana Statistical Service is expected to publish the outcome of the survey in December 2025. Now, key outcome will be a report on issues that are facing businesses in the country when it comes to the improving business environment for them to do business in the country. Now, commercial banks have justified some restrictions placed on existing foreign currency accounts and opening of new ones as well. Now, some of the commercial banks have come under some criticisms over recent challenges that depositors have had in accessing their foreign currency accounts. But Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks, Johnny Wine, says this is part of enforcing the Know Your Customer policy as well as anti-money laundering rules.
Banks are not in the business of helping people to be creating another store of value in a currency other than the cedi. So if there is objective evidence that the proceeds from these deposits may not have come from any kind of business, the bank has the right. In our fight against anti-money laundering, we need to understand where you are making the money. How did you come by $200,000 to put in your bank account? So if your bank is asking you questions, it is to meet Bank of Ghana requirements on AML, anti-money laundering. It is in line. You see, when you are opening an account, sometimes we take certain things for granted. When you are opening a bank account, on the form, you are asked, what is the nature of your business? If you are an employee of Joy FM, what is your salary range? Where would you? The moment you are operating your account out of the algorithm that you have helped the bank to build around your account, it will be escalated. I mean, it will be highlighted, and when it's highlighted, questions will be asked. It becomes a suspicious transaction. It does not mean you have done anything wrong, but it means that you are operating your account outside of the cycle of a normal transaction that the bank has programmed in the system.
And John Iwa is the Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks. Let's turn our attention to the stock market. And if you're a holder of Access Bank shares, today it was up by 1 Ghana cedi, 7 pesos to close at 12 Ghana cedis, 20 pesos. That of GCB was up by 5 pesos to close at 8 Ghana cedis, 8 pesos. MTN was down by 11 pesos to close at 2 Ghana cedis, 87 pesos. Now, if you had invested on the market from the beginning of the year to now, your returns is giving you over 23%. far better than most of the investment instrument that you find on the market now. And that's all for business on Newsnight. Back to you, Evans.
Joel, thank you very much. Now, despite regulatory efforts, banned skin lightening creams continue to flood Ghanaian markets, posing serious health risk. This warning follows a disturbing investigation by Joy News and Nigeria Health Watch, revealing some parents are using toxic creams to bleach newborns and toddlers. Yes. The FDA has previously raised concerns about skin bleaching practices, including a 2018 alert on cosmetic pills used by pregnant women to bleach their unborn babies. Investigations have now uncovered the use of high-risk disinfectants like hypochlorite bleach or parasol to tone children's skin, highlighting a disturbing trend driven by a desire for lighter skin tones. Kwete Nate has more.
Skin bleaching among children, a disturbing trend festering in Ghana.
Like kalani efe omuya tuntumi sa enyamife.
A fashion craze now falls on newly born babies and children as young as 3 years.
I've had mothers who've had concerns about the color of or the complexion of their newborn babies, and some think there will be suspicion of infidelity. Others want some designer babies that have a particular color and therefore want to do anything to get the baby to get fairer.
Banned skin lightening creams containing toxic ingredients are being applied to tone children's skin and make them socially acceptable.
When they are like 3 years, 4 years old, that's when the parents, those who don't have knowledge about, that's where they start bleaching them.
This is happening in many parts of the country. But we begin our investigations in Choko, which is home to thousands of people. The people here are mostly fisher folks and traders. The puzzle here is why some parents in Choko are risking the health of their children just to make their skin lighter than when they were born.
Like kalani efe omuya tuntumi sa enyamife.
When you bleach the children, they become socially acceptable. I do not prefer dark-skinned children. It is not any kind of skin toning cream I apply on their skin. I make sure I do not apply it excessively. It is mild so that the texture of their skin becomes appealing. The disadvantage of excessive bleaching of children is that it does not encourage their growth. That is why I am cautious with how I tone the skin. Other than that, their growth will be studied or they will become thin.
Caro has 2 children and she is a fishmonger. Caro believes beauty is incomplete if a person's skin is dark. So, she has consistently managed to turn her dark skin tone and made it lighter.
I
find light-skinned persons attractive. My parents are both dark-skinned, including the father of my children. One of their grandparents is, however, fair.
We say Obane Papa or Oyakoko.
Her children were born with their natural dark African skin tone. But Caro has not been happy with that. So when they were only 3 years old, she started applying skin toning creams and substances on the children just so they would fit in their community's definition of beauty, light skin.
Yes.
I did not start toning their skin right from birth. I started bleaching when they started school. This was when they attained the age of 3. The cream I apply on their skin is called Skin Light. I, however, use a different cream in toning my skin. I use Caro White.
Caro White.
The cream is called Skin Light, one of the popular skin lightening creams on the Ghanaian market. Its active ingredients are hydroquinone, mometasone, and tretinoin. Hydroquinone belongs to the class of skin lightening agents that work by decreasing the amount of melanin that is responsible for the darkening of the skin. But these ingredients would one day leave its users with grave health conditions, including kidney failure, liver challenges, and skin cancer. Reason the Food and Drugs Authority has banned some of these skin lightening creams.
For some, it's deliberate. It's intentional. They know what they are doing. They want their children to be fair. That's why they use these cosmetic products.
Well, the Food and Drugs Authority is now taking action. They are asking for the public to volunteer information to help it do its job. Listen to Emmanuel Nkrumah, he's the head of cosmetics at the FDA.
By ignorance is no excuse. We need to continuously do this. The FDA have all the apparatus in place. We have communication channels. We have social media handles. You just name them. We have to freelance. The FDA offices are open in all the regions across the country. There are contact persons. Me, I'm here. My number is open out there. Every officer who is in charge in protecting the health and safety of the Ghanaian, especially children.
So when we find these products, we should call you and let you know where we found them so that you clamp down on those.
Exactly,
those
we will
selling
do
them.
that.
But can you share names of some of the products? You've mentioned the ingredients in most of these products, but we don't know the names. Can the FDA put together a list possibly and share with us so that we use that for public education purposes?
It's something that has been done in the past. We can revisit it and always put it out there. The issue is the ones that were put out there, the manufacturers were engaged, they were trained, it's been done. Now, there are others which keep trickling in, and we keep informing the general public. If you see any of these products on the market, true or not, suspicious or not, inform the FDA. We will verify and update you with the information, personally, in the media, or through any medium available, to ensure that the right information gets to the Ghanaian. Tomorrow, it can be my nephew, my niece, right? And this is so important that if we don't do it at this time, it will get out of hand.
Really troubling story. You want to watch this in full across our social media platforms or at 8:30 on the Joy News channel tonight. Let's do sports now. Mr. Granton is with the latest.
Let's go straight into the stories. The Nations FC could pull out of the Ghana Premier League after chaos broke out in their Ghana Premier League match against Basaka Holy Stars on Sunday. Nations FC walked off the pitch during the crucial game against Holy Stars following the award of a second contentious penalty to their opponent. Tension reached a boiling point in the 33rd minute when Holy Stars were awarded a second penalty of the afternoon, a decision that sparked outrage among the Nations FC players and coaching staff. Their bankroller, that is Nations FC's bankroller, Dr. Kwame Che, has opened up on his regret over investing in the Ghana Premier League.
I was not happy with what happened. I have followed football for long, but yesterday's incident was not good. To win the league at the cost of losing lives, then I prefer to lose it. I have regretted getting involved in Ghana football. I have lost the passion for it. We are hoping for a change. If we all sit and only complain about it, then we are not acting right as elderly people.
Nations FC bankroller Dr. Kwame Che speaking then. Earlier tonight, the nominees for the 2025 Ghana Football Awards were released. The big award, which is the Ghana Footballer of the Year, will see Antoine Semenyo, Thomas Partey and Inaki Williams battle it out for the big award. The award for the most promising star, that is the Odate Lamte Future Star Award, will see Jerry Free, Christiana Ashaku and Edmond Bedu in the battle for that particular award. Bring that into sports. Back to you, Evans.
And thank you very much. And just before we go, a few of your messages on our WhatsApp Counsel to share with you. And this one says, can the OSP make the charges against the former finance minister clear to Ghanaians? We are tired of the game which never yields meaningful results, he says. And Abuchi Philip in Keta says, we need to be serious in this country. OSP should stop deceiving the good people of this country. And this from Hamza says, if the Ofori-Atta thinks he hasn't done anything wrong, why is he on the run from investigations? And the Nana on the Spinter's Rule says, appears the MPP want to be in a position for long where all their politicians and supporters, when Wontumi was on TV stations with gold bars and nuggets telling us how rich he is. And Musa says Ofori-Atta is clearly evading accountability. The repeated excuses have become excessive, and this latest attempt to opt for a virtual interview under the pretext of medical issues only deepens public suspicion. In this light, the OSP is absolutely justified in declaring him a fugitive from justice. Enjoy the rest of the evening.